We're ready. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. It is time to call our regularly scheduled board meeting to order. First item up on our agenda is approval of the agenda. So I'd entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Murphy and seconded by trustee Brown that we would approve the agenda as written. Any comments or corrections? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. That'll bring us to public comment. I do not see any publics present, so we'll pass that. That will bring us to minutes. We do have two sets of minutes to approve, one from our regular meeting in January and one for our special meeting that we held in January. So I'd entertain a motion for approval of our regular January minutes.
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee White, seconded by trustee Murphy, that we would approve the minutes from our regularly scheduled January board meeting. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, I'll entertain a motion for approval of our special meeting minutes from January.
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by trustee White, seconded by trustee Sneed. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, and one abstention. Okay, none opposed, one abstention. Thank you.
Okay.
That will bring us to the treasurer's report. So Kathy, I will turn it over to you.
I move the board approve the January 2026 operating bills totaling $487,950.22.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved that we would approve the operating expenses. Moved by trustee Brown, seconded by trustee White. Any discussion?
Question, Info USA Marketing, what is that, yeah?
Yes,
It's,
it's a data reference, solution subscription, 12/15/25 to 12/14/26. So let's, huh?
What's it called?
Data reference. Info USA, it's like,
Marketing.
yeah, in that first line about 10 then. So
One of our databases.
Yeah.
Yes, it's called Data Axle now. It's used to be known as Reference USA. And it's a really advanced people for small businesses, marketing, that sort of thing. It'll help you free marketing data. It's very popular.
And so that's a whole year.
Mhm.
cost.
Mhm.
It just seemed like a lot. So I
Yeah.
didn't realize that that was monthly or yearly.
Well, it is, we get it. Sorry, I don't mean that.
No, go ahead.
So we get a group consortium discount through the MetroNet Electronic Services committee. And so because we're the fiduciary to MetroNet, that may be the total cost for the whole consortium. And then they reimburse us for their portions of it. Yeah,
So that was Reference USA.
Mhm.
yeah, it's called
no,
Data Axle.
Actually, that isn't, I mean, that, the MetroNet consortium subscription is, $8,000. So for the, data, yeah, so.
Oh,
So I think the one that's the other one is probably our share of it.
oh,
Yeah, I do have a question, and I've forgotten the answer. Why are things in the check registers and then why are they in the Comerica Bank register and then some of them in the bills? I know you've mentioned that before.
Well, those are the ones that just automatically happen, whereas these have invoices that, I mean, these invoices are electronically paid, and these invoices are, we have to go through .com to pay them.
Okay, so these are more, they're all continuous, the ones that are coming out of Comerica, they're standing,
Yeah,
Invoice
like a
being
standing
paid.
order kind of.
and then the other ones are monthly or whatever.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, good clarifications. Thank you for the input on the subscriptions, Jill. Seeing no further concerns or questions, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
I move to receive and file the January 2026 financial reports. Second.
Okay, moved by trustee Brown, seconded by trustee Murphy, that we will receive the financial reports from January. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Okay, Michigan class. As of January 31st, our Michigan class balance was $14,159,525.86. Our January earned interest was $46,124.19. And our year-to-date interest was the same because January is first month of the year. On January 1st, our daily interest rate was 3.8943%. And on January 31st, it was 8.216.
What?
3.8216%. I wish. We'll be right there. I wish. But anyways, that's rich, right?
Can I put some money in there?
We really didn't-
Alternate universe.
Yeah. We didn't really lose too much on the interest rates, but that was good fun.
Only libraries get double interest.
I would.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Any other items from the treasurer?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
That will bring us to the Friends of the Library report, and I'm trying to figure out why Stacy's not sitting dead
There's no chair there.
in front of
And
me.
the
Oh.
sign-up sheet is there, so Crystal clearly wants me not there.
All right, your seat notwithstanding, I'll turn the floor over to you.
So much. We had our meeting in January. Yeah, no.
No, February.
Hmm? Completely. Sorry, Kathy, I was still thinking about the 8%. So excited, very excited. We had a meeting in February. We have a potential new board member, which would bring us up to 9. Her name is Dana Abro, and she was once upon a time a page here at 12 Mile and also at the Farmington Library, but she grew up here, and her mom and sister still live in the area. She lives in DC, and she is a security officer for one of the Peace Corps regions in the world. So Dana's
Wow.
really great. She's very outgoing. And she's younger than me, which is also right. So
Mm.
younger people, woohoo. So because the bylaws for the Friends allow for 2 people who live outside of the district, then she qualifies and she can zoom in because we are not bound by Michigan Municipal League rules and MCLA stuff to have in-person meetings. So that's really great. So hopefully we will have quorum at least, and we can get her signed up on our March meeting, which is going to be the 11th of March. The Friends Bookshop is going great guns. We've had sales in January, our highest that I've seen yet, $2,271. And if you think that the usual is about $1,500, that's quite a difference. Online sales are doing well. We have a ton of new volunteers. We have like 6 or 7 adults. I have to go back and count, who are now working on a weekly basis to do some things. It's been really great. We have a number of teams coming in. I think in February, we're having the Northville High School. And keeping in mind that some of the kids in Northville High School are in our service district. It's the way that the school district is split, so it's not too far-fetched, but I'm also looking forward to that. We did not have a book sale in February. We are not having a Valentine's Day book sale because I was too cold and I was afraid that the weather was going to be a little dicey. So it's not going to be, but I still stand by my decision. So we will have our next book sale in April on the weekend of the 18th. Yes. And we're going to do another Thursday night, Friday day, and then half a day on Saturday sale because it seems to be pretty attractive to people. And we've done some wonderful partnering with
staff for, another hit of the odds and ends art auction with Jillian. Cannot wait. It's going to be April 24th. Yeah, that's the Friday, April 24th. So we're gonna bookend National Library Week with the book sale and then the odds and ends art auction. And if anybody wants to volunteer for that, that would be fantastic. Jill is coordinating, and then I will be all of her, I will be her hype woman. Yay, Jill, go. And we've had a couple of potential fundraisers suggested by staff. And we're mulling what that would look like. So Farron Watson and Jill Wiskowski have approached the Friends with some potential partnerships, and hopefully those will bear some fruit at some point. One is a sort of a reboot of the Oscar Shorts fundraising because the Civic has a new director, and she's a little bit more open to having community events. Which is nice. It's really great, and as well as beneficial to the Civic. And another one would probably be an after-hours event at the library. And Jill has many suggestions, but we're going to see what we can put into play and what's going to be viable. So the goal is to attract an audience who is not normally found as a Friends donor because they're in a different phase of life. So we're looking at younger group. And so outreach seems to be going well, and we had our year-end membership drive, and that was fairly successful. We had good revenue raising last year, and we're looking at different streams of revenue. Things look great, so I'm good.
So the Oscar Shorts would be next year?
Well, we're trying to get something off the ground this year,
Oh.
but I think there was just not enough time to do it in the time that was proposed. And the new director of the Civic is finding out that getting in touch with distributors is a lot more work.
Well,
than
that
she
was
thought
the
about.
guy I had, is not doing. God, yeah, it's somebody else.
It's
or
somebody
someone
else.
doing it,
Yeah,
as They found out, so.
right. So
And it is it's a little tricky.
it's a lot tricky, actually. I don't
It
think,
is.
people in the arts are lovely, but sometimes the management of things can be a little less than focused, so.
So I know they have Oscar Shorts, well, some of them at the DIA. So,
Yes, I think they do.
yeah.
Did
so-
you, they're having at the Detroit Film Theater in the DAA? Yeah, they're running it for like 3 weeks or something.
So if you contacted them, could they give you some info about?
Yeah, that would be a possibility. I'm trying to let other people manage stuff, but I will pass that along because I do think it's a good idea.
I don't know that, I got an answer then.
Yeah, I'm sure the DFT would think that there might be a little bit of competition with that. And this information is out there, it's just make sure we can get back to us. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I think it would be really great, and I think people would really like it. So, we're just trying to time everything so that we don't have too much happening in terms of, what's going on and overwhelm. One supporter seems to be about submission. Yep. So, keep those donations coming. Everything's going great.
All right. Any other questions for Stacy?
And if you guys have art donations, come see me.
Well, that was gonna be my question because I was actually able to unload a nice piece last year. That ended up in the home of a staff member here at FCL, believe it or not, which was pretty shocking. And then I also ended up with some of Sharon's stuff at my house. And so, I'll definitely look around to see what I can bring.
I have a few things.
Yeah.
too.
And Stacy, really glad to hear about kind of what's going on with the Civic and the possibility of getting that back on the road, because I know that was one of our more popular programs. So great to hear that.
Well, it's all thanks to Maria Schoch-Gallup who started that, and I would really love to have her involvement back in because.
Well, I'm excited that we reached out to us,
Yes.
because it feels like we're gonna have a true partnership.
I agree.
I love when we're reaching both ways. Yeah. All right, that will bring us to the director's report. So Sasha, I will turn it over to you.
All right, you have your patron comments are in your board packet. I presented with the Farmington Hills Optimist Club at the end of January. They asked some great questions about the library and excited about our renovations. And thank you to Jill for attending with me at dark 30 in the morning. They meet at 7:30 in the morning. Um, but it was great to meet some more people in the community. The mayor of Farmington was there because it was Optimist Day. He had a proclamation for them, so he was there, and I got to see him again, Joe.
Yep.
So that was good. Very early in the morning. Something I just wanted to mention, Plant Moran discovered that our audit had not been submitted by the state by the deadline. It's the first time it's ever happened. The audit firm reached out and was very apologetic. It has been rectified and received by the state, but it was just something I wanted to make sure, people were aware of. It's never happened in all the years. It was a fluke thing. I said, of course, because
Yeah, we should.
talk about that next year.
No.
Yes.
Well, there's no negative
Penalty
repercussion
yeah.
or fine.
The only possible repercussion could be if we are going out for bond, if we decide to do that. From what I understand from Kelly or Carrie from Plant Moran, it's not a huge deal. It's just a little more paperwork you would have to do instead of it being kind of a check mark thing. You have to do a little bit more paperwork because of it. So, it was a very interesting phone call. I've never had that phone call before.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Plant Moran. It's the audit company, and I cannot,
Oh, it's the audit company. Who's the
Yeah.
audit company?
don't remember right this second. I knew somebody was going to ask. Alan and Young, not Young. Alan Young and his,
Young, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
He's very apologetic. It's never happened in their business and our business, and yeah. There was a picture of in the Farmington Press business clip. There was a picture of Sherry and Kelly accepting the Large Business of the Year award. I know it's a little after the fact, but I think the person who's submitting the pictures is trying to get one or two in every time it's published because they had so many, they only could do a couple, like one at a time. But if you haven't seen it, it was in there. Our social committee did a really nice event this week for the library staff. This whole week they have been doing, I think it's called Cozy Week, to kind of keep our staff warm. And they had themed days to help combat the cold temperatures and wintertime blues. So they had Super Bowl Monday, where everyone brought in different kinds of soup. National Flannel Day, Literary Love Giving Hearts Day, which is like writing nice things about your colleagues. And Valentine Day cookie decorating is tomorrow. So the social committee did a really nice job putting it together and just showing that appreciation for each other. So I will shout out to Maria, who made an excellent cheddar broccoli soup. Thank you so much. It was delicious. I happened to be at Farmington that day and got to try some from there and some from here. The director's orientation, I have been working through all of my department orientations, getting acclimated. I did marketing just today or yesterday. I've done IT. So it's really been very helpful to get a good grasp on what's happening and what processes we have in place. I also had an orientation with the TLN, the Library Network Consortium that we're a member of, with their executive director, Steve. He does a new director orientation. I've had that. I have started my new director training with Library of Michigan that has to be completed before we do state aid. And I also received my level 1 librarian certification well in advance of my deadline. I didn't want to forget and not do it, so I got it done. Web compliance, I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure if some of you are aware, if I've mentioned it before, but there are the web and mobile application accessibility rule. We're kind of calling it, what are we calling it? WCAG. So basically our website and the contents on the website must be ADA compliant via their rules by mid-April. Our website is predominantly already ADA accessible. Sarah's been working with MuniWeb, who helped create the website, to ensure that it is ADA compliant per this new regulation. And so we are working, we have a group working together on the documents that go on the website also have to be ADA compliant. So there may be a little bit of a change to how the board agenda might look, not a big change, but some changes because we have to insert like headers and things so screen readers can easily read the documents. We don't have to retroactively do it. It is from that point going forward. So just so you guys are aware, that is a new regulation. I know Steve's probably well aware of it. So that's coming, and we're working hard on making sure we are in compliance as early in advance as we can. Our website is pretty good, and Sarah's great. She's been doing like the alt text on a picture. You have to have an alt description on it to make sure people can use a screen reader, and we've already been doing that. So, I had a few things that I wanted to add that didn't make it to the director's report. We have a small business lunch and learn starting March 10th. It's once a week until April 7th. Some great speakers are coming, so that I think the flyer just got created. So that is a nice new small business lunch and learn series. State of the Cities is March 6th.
So it really is Friday night.
Yes, because
I thought something would have a fifth.
it originally was the 5th. They had to change it because Oakland County was doing theirs on the 5th. So Crystal typically registers any members of the board who would like to come and attend. So if you're interested in attending, oh, you already registered? Okay. I'm just saying what they told me last year was
No, that's true.
Crystal would register you. So
Yeah, we do normally take assessment of which trustees want to attend and register those folks.
But this isn't for the VIP recognition.
Oh, absolutely. If you're with Steve, you go to the VIP.
I will go to the regular entrance.
we're not paying for the VIP.
No.
He didn't either.
Oh.
Listen, this is what's gonna happen this year. We're gonna pay the regular registration and we're all gonna walk in with Steve at the VIP.
I mean, it's free to attend, but I just wanted to see who.
And see, that's different from the.
Yeah.
The VIP reception.
You do.
Yeah, for the VIP you do, but not everybody does.
For the food truck.
Yeah,
Ticketing's food
The
truck.
food trucks was outside.
yeah. Anybody can go to those.
Yeah.
So is anybody here that hasn't registered want me to have Crystal register? Steve?
So register means that you go at 4:30?
No, you don't have to be there until 7 o'clock for the actual state of the cities. You can go earlier for the other things.
Why would you have to register that? Can't you just walk in?
Registration's required, it says on there. I don't know.
The names.
Yeah, I think they have to get a head count and make sure they have.
Yeah.
I'm attending. Steven, Ernie, you going?
Yep, I'll be there.
Do we have any
Together.
Do we have any requirements about, we don't have to worry about too many, we're not like city council where you like can have so many people like, oh, it's a public meeting, so we're okay.
Well, you just can't make an
We're not
elaborate
deciding
decision.
anything.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No deciding anything while we're there.
Yeah.
Are you going, Jim?
I
Don't know yet?
don't know yet.
Okay.
That's right.
Is it a cost to us?
No,
No.
it's free. They just want us to register, so they have, I think, a head
So
count,
you have to pay to go to VIP reception.
Yeah, that's like.
which we're not doing.
I can attest, it was very nice. There, the
We're gonna
order,
find out this year. We're
Maria?
going this year.
Did you just walk in?
I literally just walked in.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do this
They
year.
wrote my name on the thing. I was like, did you register?
Maria, you go.
Registered.
Yeah.
And they just wrote it on the page and like, okay, go there. I'm like, oh, okay.
And Jill and Maria, just let me know. Okay. So I got Steve, Ernie, and Renee so far. I want to make sure I mention that. The Bosch grant is coming up soon. We're going to be, we're requesting funds this year. We are possibly going to be requesting some ideas right now is some study room technology and possibly something to do with the outside play area at FA. Because if we do some kind of like science outside big thing that they have, or, depending on what is available, it's a possibility. So, the draft budget will be in the March meeting. And Plant Moran has already provided me an updated forecast to share with you guys at that meeting. And just a few announcements for staff, new staff. We have Celeste Shorts. She is going to be the full-time full-time assistant department head of patron services. Celeste, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's gonna be at FA. She already worked for us part-time, and now she's gonna be full-time. And then we have a new marketing coordinator. That's a full-time, Sophie T. I'm not gonna try and butcher her last name because I hate not knowing how to say last name. And Swetha J. She's one of our new facility aides, part-time facility aides who's recently joined us. So those are some new staff members.
So Sarah, I thought she was marketing.
Sarah's the director, like the marketing and community. Yeah, the marketing coordinator is Sophie, and she'll do a lot more of the social media and some of the other stuff. Yeah, because we had somebody before who had left last year. So we finally got that one filled. And now we'll have, Celeste was part-time, so we're gonna have to fill that. And that is all I believe I have.
Okay, excellent. That's quite the report.
Yes.
Thank you for all of that and everything that you've been doing. I know that you have been fully engaged with everything from the optimist to the non-optimist probably. And I know Delhara, even though she's not here, she has been checking in with you regularly and kind of making sure that you've got the support you need from the board's perspective. So I want to thank her for doing that as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much. That will bring us to our subcommittee reports. So the first one is personnel. Renee, do we have a report from personnel?
Just a short one. We
Sure.
did meet on Monday and we received a request from the WCBC, the
Working conditions and benefits.
and Benefit Committee, to look at exploring the possibility of adding tuition reimbursement as a benefit for the employees. So we're looking at that right now. But we kind of wanted to ask the board if they had any thoughts or any ideas about that. It's general. We haven't really looked at details too much, and it's kind of more of a long-term goal that we're looking at, nothing that's going to be implemented right away. So do you guys have any feelings about that or any ideas?
I would say in general, I support, advanced education. I think there's a couple of qualifiers, if you will, that might come into play if you're considering. Sometimes, usually, I guess in most environments, there might be some interest in assuring that whatever the course of study is going to be something that contributes to the organization that's paying for it. So I think that would be a criteria we want to look at. But I am also interested in us not just looking at degree programs. There may be certification programs. Somebody might be interested in becoming a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt or a project manager, a certified project manager that could benefit the organization too. So I would say an approach that recognizes that as well would be good. So I'm generally in support and look forward to seeing what you guys would recommend to us.
This question makes me wonder, but like what data do we have relative to the market of employers that do offer that sort of thing?
Well, the committee did actually do a lot of investigating before they presented this to us, and they did give us libraries that have been surveyed. So we do have some information to start with. So we're working on that. Just in general, one of the things that they gave us was a list of approximately, I forget how many, around 50 libraries in this area that they had looked at, and approximately 37% had benefits offered. So, but we'll continue to explore that.
And just a couple of comments is that having been someplace where, I would get tuition reimbursement is we have different levels of employees here and what level of employee would be qualified for reimbursement. And second, you have to be very careful about if it's a certification or a class that it's actually, it's a value to the library and to that individual. Because just taking a class, an advancement isn't really what we want to represent doing. So one of the things is which employees would be entitled to it. And, they have to work with us for the next 4 years, but, so those are some criteria I think that are really important.
Was that a hand up motion, Sharon? Okay.
Well, just to say that at one time we had a page who was working for her library degree. So you really, I don't think that you can say, oh, well, only this amount of people. Good point. Have to keep in mind.
I will say one thing I brought up, the WCBC had a great presentation and they really focused on MLIS degrees only. And I did a survey of local libraries who to see who do it, who offer it and how they do it. So like Novi just implemented it and some of the other ones, they sent me information. And one thing I would like us to see is it's not just MLIS. We have IT in the building, we have marketing communication that works for us. So I would like it to be expanded if we decide to do this and we have, like we've talked about many of the things you guys mentioned, that I'd like it to be not just MLIS, even though that's what they had requested, because I think that we need other
Yeah.
degrees.
Types of roles.
Exactly. We're not just a library. We aren't just librarians. We have IT and marketing and all these HR and all of these things. So that's something that we're also kind of looking at.
Yeah, I think the key is tying it back to Sharon's comment around benefit to the organization as well as to the individual. Certainly, I think we demonstrated through how we staffed and what we funded as far as staffing goes that we recognize you need more than just librarians to run the library. But I think we are also still like fierce advocates of librarianship as well. So for me, it is, hearing Kathy mention the story of a page who like was working their way up, like that's a beautiful story. And so I think we want to keep that in mind when we're thinking about the levels of employees and, if they're pursuing something that's in our wheelhouse, in our evangelism circle, if you will, then we might want to support that. So I know you guys will come back with a good recommendation for us, and I'm glad to hear that the committee brought that forward. Yeah. Anything else from personnel, Renee?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thank you. That's a great report. Facilities, Sharon?
Our meeting was this month on the 5th. Next month it is March the 5th. And I'd like to encourage everyone that if there's something about the facility that has a question that hasn't been answered, please just send it to me, on the email, and I'll add it to the agenda. And Sasha's great. She does the agenda, adds her comments and anything else that someone brings up. We'll be sure to talk about it. It's just not the master plan. It is facilities. And so just a small thing like the coffee machine was broken. Did it stay broken very long? No, it got repaired right away. So those kind of things when you're walking around, it's really important. And unfortunately, I'm never in Farmington, but Maria, please submit anything that you see that you need to be talking about it from facilities. So what we talked about this time, and Jill, of course, does a great job with the minutes. And Sasha met with the architect just briefly and had all the roles of drawings. And you just want to comment about that since it was a big item?
Yes, they dropped off I think it's about a 20% completion of plans. They're yay big. They're the actual plans. And so I reviewed them with Peter, and then we had a follow-up meeting with Steve to identify some issues or thoughts like some like the backlit LED mirrors that we felt were a little extreme for a library. We're not doing those. So some things like that and talked with them about it. So we are just now waiting for another set of more completed plans. But I have them if anybody is interested to look at them. They're just about 20%, not a full set.
I would say, and thank you for raising that, Sharon, and for you kind of giving us some color commentary there. Now's the time for us to look, right? Because if there's something that is really going to cause you a problem, we want to kind of get that into our consideration now, right? Rather than when she's looking at 50% plans, right, or 75% complete plans. So I would encourage everybody to take a look as you have time.
You need Sasha to help you though.
Yeah, I can easily describe it. Yeah.
Right, you want to set up some time, and don't be overly burdensome. Let's not take up too much of her time as well. And if some of us can come together, maybe, I would encourage us to do that as well to save Sasha and the team some time as we're looking. But I don't want people to get down the road and then feel like they've got buyer's remorse when you maybe didn't even take a deep look to give your feedback. Yeah, so I would encourage that.
Just two things is a reminder that when Kathy and I were interviewing people about the contractors, that they all said the same thing. Make sure right off the get-go you get the details that you don't like And then the Redford business manager said to us, Steve is wonderful, but he has some ideas that are a little over the top.
Yeah.
So he give that warning. So there are two items for you that we just want to bring.
Mhm.
So that was the most important item. And there's a new phase one plan for both the locations. And is everybody begin that chart with the new timeline?
I believe I sent it to everybody.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of discussion about fixing the areas of the Farmington Hills sidewalk and a total replacement of sidewalk in front of the building, the crosswalk, and those are designs on the plans. They added to it some of the crumbling areas around Peter's office on the concrete that said that should be fixed if they're fixing the other part. So those are the kinds of things that to bring up now, if they're pouring the concrete, they might as well fix the corner that's all crumbling. Those are the kind of things that really can get done if we mention and we think about it. We don't have an official contract yet. Is that still true?
Not yet.
And I will hope when we get the contract that maybe we should do a little preliminary budget saying, I see there's some bills going out to Steve's firm.
Yeah.
Then maybe we should say since January and 26th, we paid this firm this much money. So we have an idea of how we're doing with the money specifically for the project. And we have two big contracts. And those contracts alone, we should know when we're paying the money out and how much it is. So really need to keep a handle on the budget because it's great. We give everybody a little raise and they're going to pay their tuition and all of this sounds wonderful. And then Kathy one day will come in and go, well, we went over our heads a little bit. So I'm really concerned.
I can give you that.
So, anyway, that's so anyway, we should hear about that. He's working on it. And the updated construction timeline extends it out to 2007. And the HVAC, Peter is working on those, fix the units. And then we have not decided as trustee about the EV charger. And so we had to discuss about putting in the wires so that you'd be able to add them if you decide on it. I just want to make it perfectly clear that we have not agreed to put EV chargers in there. Kathy had a good question about, which I don't quite understand, maybe about wiring it ahead of time instead of putting a new transistor in.
Transformer. Well, the thing is, the electrical closet is right by where the stairs to the children's department goes down. So if you're going to run all of the wiring underground, aren't you going to be tearing up all the carpeting in the inside of the building to put a conduit to run the wire? How are you going to do that?
It's underground. I think they're going down and over, not through,
down and over.
like down through the parking lot,
Like on the exterior.
on the exterior.
Yeah, but the electrical, okay, so they're gonna, I thought it was going into the electrical room.
Yeah, that part,
That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, that part, I think we have to have Steve talk about, because they had an electrical engineer come out, and that's how they decided how to do it. So I think that would be a good question. I can ask Steve to
Yes,
talk about that.
please, 'cause we're down there looking at that and I'm thinking, yep, that's gotta run the conduit somewhere.
Mhm.
And that may be something that is in addition to the contract estimate,
It's included.
So, anyway, that was a discussion that we had because as trustees, we haven't made a discussion of what we want to do in terms of that. The digital sign, we asked who's putting the messages up and how they frequent and, that Sarah is, the marketer and, I always see the same message is why I raised the question. But other
Did
people
you see the
tell
new
me,
sign today, the new messages today?
I came up the back driveway.
Oh, yeah, we put the library board meeting on there, so we'll do that every month. We have to figure out if we're gonna put it like at downtown for March, so people don't come here. But there's some new messages going out, and actually Sarah and I just met about that today. And we're gonna come up with a plan for like what to advertise and how often to change it and that kind of thing.
More colorful messages.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You really want to be here and
Yeah,
there's a book for you.
yeah.
And we've talked about, Peter is going to work on a preventative maintenance, so we look at the age of all our equipment, and there should be a timeline saying this, we're gonna need air conditioners in 2 years, we're gonna need a new elevator in 10 years, those should be somehow plotted out, so he's gonna work on that. Let's see, the recycling dumpsters, we're gonna leave one and then add a garbage dumpster, so that there's one of each kind there.
A true recycled dumpster, not a garbage dumpster.
Oh, a true.
Yeah, like we have the paper
It's got
one.
an evil look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I talked with Stacy, she's good with it. We have the regular paper dumpster that they actually pay us when we put paper in it. We're gonna remove one of them and put a true all recycled dumpster for boxes, cans, bottles, because a lot of our staff are taking this stuff home and it's a lot. And I mean, we're a library, we get a lot of boxes. So it's gonna cost about $100 a month, which isn't too bad. And we're gonna remove one of them, get a new paper one and a regular all recycled dumpster that for us.
I love that. And can I suggest that along with that, we kind of go ahead and get the recycling bins, the containers, I mean, so that they're throughout the
Yeah.
facilities. So we have kind of a full recycling program that's going on there.
On the inside,
Mhm.
Yeah, so
well,
that,
let me tell you about.
We'll get the blue ones.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, we used to have baskets that sat under the self-checks that were for recycling. It was labeled recycling. And you can't believe the junk that was put into those. It wasn't just, so. I'm not
You know, I'm
sure.
thinking,
I'm gonna buy different ones.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking more so, throughout the staff areas, in our break rooms, throughout the
public areas,
facility
yeah.
where, so public areas, I'm sure you need to be creative there and maybe some.
Oh yeah,
sort of
you get the
exit.
ones that have the thin and the can, like you can do those.
What to put in. that.
Yes, yes. And we will always have somebody who puts whatever in it, but overall, I think people are usually pretty good about it. So, yeah, we have some staff who are very excited by it. So I'm glad it's economical and Steve, yeah, it's Steve. So I'm very excited, and we're gonna keep it where it is right now because we can't think of another good place for it that a truck can easily get in and.
We'll knock over the pole again.
So,
Has that pole been replaced?
no, they're waiting for the weather because it was buried in, the snow.
You didn't tell
Yep,
Peter
got the
about
email.
that left there.
Yep.
Okay.
So that should be coming soon. Crystal actually gave me some quotes and we agreed on a company just the other day. I'm very excited.
And we had lots of items. Another one was, we talked about, Heather Hills, about that's gonna change the dynamics there, and hopefully it's actually gonna be cleaned up and handled differently, so.
Is there a defined purpose for Heather Hills at this
It's
point?
storage. But
Well, I know it
it's
is.
going to be programming space in the
Yeah.
future, so we're working on
Okay,
that process.
okay, all right.
It does look like a logical nightmare down there.
It's like.
It's on my list.
The other thing is, the crosswalk signs, they're going to, change where people are walking on the crosswalk so that you're on the crosswalk leaving Farmington Hills and you go across to a place where the cars might be, not this little tree. I think, so that in the plans, that's worth looking at in the plans. They kind of want to make a center aisle for the handicap to be able to go directly to the door. So I think that's an important reason to look through the plan, but you do need Sasha's help because they are enormous and you need some guidance. I think that's about, and all. Thank you, Joe, for letting me know down for me. My memory's not what it should be. So anybody have a question or any issue you'd like me to write down for next time?
Just a quick question. I know at one time there was a big issue with the bathrooms not being cleaned and janitorial service. How was that working out for you guys?
Well, they have,
Is that working out good with the new?
Pro Next Door.
Right.
We have a new crew and it actually has been much better.
Except for an issue. The technical.
Oh yeah, from the theft, yeah. Yeah. But we have a whole new crew and they seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Mhm.
Just one thing I'm wondering, and this one to be on public record now that we're on the meeting of that. One, we had public comment. One of the recent meetings we had about speed bumps.
Mhm.
And had there been any discussion or consideration about that?
No, there hasn't been.
Okay.
We can put, speed bumps on that.
We did talk
on the
about it.
agenda.
We,
No,
we talked about it for the new construction. We did a little bit last meeting. Peter and I talked about it with Steve because we were talking about the sign for the slow crosswalk sign, which we've been looking into, and it's amazing how much things to look into. But we talked about this adding a speed bumper too because of the speeding around the building. And Steve was going to look into it as part of the renovation of the parking lot because you have to be careful with marking it for like snow and all of that. I still would, there's even ones you can actually put in and take out, but we're kind of investigating what would be the most effective and won't get damaged pretty easy. But we did talk about it briefly, only on the side, not through the back at this point. Because I remember Kathy talked about her Corvette and she's like, well, I'm not coming in that way.
Yes, I have a bottom to the car.
Yeah. So that is something we're talking about with Steve as they redo that parking lot. I want to add something because people are just whipping around lately.
Well, it does occur to me like, that front area, will there be more people there as we build more?
Mhm.
So like, there's more people traffic there, so just
Mhm.
creating that safe, and then so I appreciate the discussion.
Yes.
And again, I know that we are all universally agreed upon now that we are in the official board meeting, the road that leads to, well, the road that no one owns. I hope that there is progress in that in 2026, despite the complicated nature. And if necessary, I will go to Washington to lobby myself to ensure that.
I'll throw myself on the.
That's a bodacious statement, sir.
I will,
And,
Mr.
I will
VIP.
go.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll just walk in.
Yeah.
I'll just walk in. I keep that same.
I love that. Duly noted. Duly noted.
Well, that's the end of my comments. I'll put the speed bumps on our next agenda for the facilities. Anything else?
Thank you very much, Sharon. I think the only commentary that I have, very thorough report, is around the whole EV conversation. I think, and what I want to understand, maybe, we think about like the transformer upgrading the service to the property. I think that question might even be a little bit broader than just the EV question. I think as we look at like,
Oh, yeah. We don't have to upgrade the building. It's just adding. They said that we have enough. We are electrically supportive of what we want to add because I asked Steve that.
okay, that was
We
a-
don't have to upgrade any of our electrical. They're just going to connect stuff in the parking lot to what we already have. So that we can do EV chargers if we want to. He says we have plenty of space because I asked him about the capacity of our building.
Okay. 'Cause
He
that's
said
where
we're
I was
good.
Going to
Yes.
understand while we're thinking about this, well, what does our overall load capacity look like for the building and what we're planning, for the building? So I'm glad that you all inspected that. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I don't have any questions. And thank you, Sharon. Thank you. All right. That will bring us to the finance committee. So Kathy, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so we had a very short meeting before this meeting. Thank you to Ernie for drafting a copy of a new memorial and gift policy. And we have sent that to our lawyer, and we are waiting to get back the update of things that he thinks need to be changed and whatnot. And so, we will send you a copy of that once we get that. And then, we'll hopefully get it before the March meeting and, have an approval on the March. That's all.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add to that is, Sasha, of course, as we discussed earlier, we'll share with you as well for any input, and share with the relevant staff, right, that would be supporting giving, right, for their input as well. And hopefully we can have that wrapped up where you can at least have a first reading of it in March. If we can get it to you soon enough, maybe we could have it up for approval in March if everybody's had a chance to read through it. All right, thank you very much, Kathy. That will bring us to unfinished business. Don't think we have any unfinished business. That will bring us to new business. Is there any new business? No new business. That'll bring us to correspondence. Jim?
None.
Okay. That'll bring us to public comment. Do we have any peoples who have transformed into public?
Yes, I'm transforming
All right.
to ask, and I know that this has been an ongoing problem, is the road that nobody owns, by the light. A number of people would be willing to do whatever it takes to push for this, and so we're just waiting for direction on it. So if you want some people to push, you got people to push because we're tired of it.
Yeah, and I think in total transparency, Jill started us out with doing kind of the homework on who owns what, who has control of what, which got us a long way. And might I add, was more accurate than what the city actually understood the ownership to be at the time. Right, yeah, that's it. You go to a librarian when you have a question. But we did, working with city staff, come to the conclusion of kind of what we thought would be next steps. And really the next step is Oakland County Road Commission. And asking Oakland County Road Commission to actually issue a permit for the work to be done, but also having them kind of run point on the negotiation and the interaction with GSA. So the city staff thought at the time was that they've got more experience with GSA because they're dealing with GSA properties all across, right? So they should be able to facilitate how to make that happen. So at this point, we're going to go to Oakland County Road Commission, especially with the transition at the city, kind of bring city staff along. And hopefully they will agree and say, yes, like we are the place and we will take this piece of coordination on. And once we know that they are the place, then I will unleash you to go show up anywhere we need to go show up to advocate for our position. So I love that. Yeah. All right. Any other public comment? And I don't respond to public comment, but just had to. All right. Any trustee comment?
Yes, I have 3.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have room.
Sorry, no, it's all written down
Oh,
on your copy. Okay, I did email you all, except for you, a link today to a Facebook Live or YouTube Live session on February 16th at 1:00 that will discuss the federal government's dismantling of DEI structures and provide some tools to combat this. So I think it might be important for at least the trustees, and yourself to look. The Michigan Advocacy Day registration for Tuesday, April 28th in Lansing has begun. $25 fee includes t-shirt, box lunch, and personalized agenda. If you're a first timer, you can also register for an advocacy training day Zoom session occurring on April 16th from 10 to 11. Several board members went last year, so maybe we can get a group together for this year. Because you and Sharon went last year.
I went, Sharon went, Stephen went,
Yeah.
Renee
Worked
went.
well? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Renee was
an
up
excellent
there.
driver.
Yeah.
I think I was babysitting my great granddaughter, so I couldn't go. But
We
anyway.
were wondering what was wrong with you.
Well, that would be it. She's smart. My last comment is I attended an MLA advocacy Zoom session today that presented information on the trial court funding reform. And if you heard about it, where it's recommended that penal and civil fines be taken away from libraries and given to trial courts. Last year, $16.8 million was distributed to Michigan libraries, of which we received $142,458 from the penal fines and civil. That's a good chunk of change. So the presenter said it probably doesn't have a path forward this year because we've got Republicans and Democrats and so. But next, it could take several years for this to happen, and it's best to be prepared. So she suggested building relationship with your local legislator and go to their coffee hours and attend their other functions and let them know how important this funding is to libraries. And also checking with other states to see where they get their funding might provide us ideas for more funding if this reform actually goes through. I'll email you a link to a paper written by Dylan Geschel, MLA Interim Executive Director, that speaks to this subject. I'm also going to bring this up at the TLN board meeting because Stephen I think that would be a good thing for him to work on too, so, see about. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Not trust, well, I did remember you guys, I said, as far as back to correspondence, that we did get that message right after the January meeting that I sent out to you by email, but I just wanted to mention it in the public meeting that it was that someone, was writing about thanks for the staff and all the efforts that we have to keep, diverse programs and whatnot, so.
Appreciate that. Yes, thank you, Kathy. I guess maybe you are our legislative chair as well. So, any other trustee comment?
I do, I have one.
Yes.
I'd like to, see on the website and they have a hard copy of an update of our trustee list,
Yeah.
which is from 24, 20,
I was just thinking.
right? And we should have a 25, 26 update,
Mm-hmm. Yes, Crystal was just working on that.
both on the website and in our little cabinets.
I would agree. I looked at that this week myself. I guess I'll officially say that I was reappointed, I think, for another 4 years. Yeah, so you guys are stuck with me for a little while longer. Any other trustee comment? Okay. I want to say about the advocacy day. For those that maybe didn't go last year, or those of us who did go, I think we had a really good day last year. I really enjoyed it. To being able to spend the day with some of you all up there. So I am hoping to participate again, and I want to encourage us to try to make that an annual thing. So Kathy, Jim, if you guys can join us, I'm assuming the people who went last year are going again.
So,
That's that presumptive
April
close, right?
28th. 28th.
Use of the bullet pulpit mask.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, we don't have to decide it now, but let's try to put that on our calendar if we can. I think it was a good activity for the trustees. And good to be out there advocating for our cause and talking to other libraries. I think if one of our former trustees were here, he would have loved all of the bookmobile activity that was going on there, because quite a few districts had their bookmobiles on display, so you could see all the different models and types. And Sharon and I investigated them quite thoroughly. But it was fun. It was a fun day. So I plan to be there, and anybody else who could join, please join us.
So did you register through the library?
Well, funny thing, the library registered, Kelly registered us, right? Somehow though, I didn't get registered, right? So yeah, but anyway, MLA figured out how to get me in there. Like, yeah. So I called up pretty persnickety, and they figured out how to get me in there. So we were registered, and some of us weren't registered, but I showed up anyway.
So we need to let Sasha know if we're going to.
Yes, please. So let her know so that she can pay our, I
Big
think
blue
there's,
T-shirt.
yeah, I think there's a $25 fee or something.
Yes.
So that the library can pay that on our behalf. All right. Any other trustee comment? Last call. Okay. Seeing none, I think that brings us to adjournment. So we can consider ourselves adjourned. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.